A very warm welcome to all of you in Department of Radiation Oncology, Government Doon Medical College, Dehradun. Today we shall discuss the role of CDK4/6 inhibitors in management of hormone receptor positive breast cancer. Basically, we will discuss palbociclib and Palomar trials. Today, Dr. Richa Gupta will give all the fine details of the topic. Dr. Gupta.
Thank you, Dr. Lalit. So, I shall be starting on discussion of CDK4/6 inhibitors. Firstly, based on the receptor status, the breast cancer, there are three therapeutic groups. Patients are divided into three therapeutic subgroups. First is hormone receptor positive but HER2 normal expression or HER2 negative breast cancers. These are the majority of the patients, which constitute 60 to 65%. Next are the HER2 positive or negative but hormone receptor positive or negative but HER2 positive receptor. And third are triple negative group. So we shall be discussing this first group, which is the major constraint, hormone receptor positive but HER2 normal expression or commonly known as HER2 negative. So we are discussing CDK4/6 inhibitors. The mechanism of action, how they act, is firstly cyclin D1 and CDK4/6 are a downstream of signaling pathway. They act on the G1S checkpoint. G1S checkpoint is tightly regulated by retinoblastoma gene, which bounds to the E2F transcription factor. In this form, E2F is inactive. When retinoblastoma is phosphorylated with the action of cyclin D and CDK4/6, E2F is free to progress the cell cycle. So, cyclin D CDK4/6 assembly is also mediated by several factors like ERPR receptors, which promote this assembly, P53, P21, P16. These inhibit this assembly. So, in case of breast cancer, hormone receptor positive breast cancer, cyclin D is expression is common, and loss of free retinoblastoma is rare. So, G1S checkpoint is an ideal therapeutic target. Amplification of cyclin D2 gene is seen in almost 15% breast cancers, and expression of cyclin D1 at mRNA and protein is unregulated in 50% of primary hormone receptor positive and well differentiated breast cancer tumors. The CDK4/6 inhibitors act on the cyclin D CDK4/6 assembly. They prevent their assembly and hence prevent phosphorylation of retinoblastoma. So E2F is not free to promote the cell cycle progression. The three CDK4/6 inhibitors are palbociclib, ribociclib, and abemaciclib. These three inhibitors are approved in the treatment of hormone receptor positive, HER2 negative advanced breast cancers. This is a timeline of targeted therapies for hormone receptor positive, HER2 negative breast cancer. So, after a long period of time, in 2015, palbociclib was the first CDK4/6 inhibitor to be approved in the treatment of this subgroup of breast cancer patients. It is an orally active selective inhibitor of CDK4 and CDK6. This inhibits cell proliferation and cellular DNA synthesis by preventing cell cycle progression from G1 to S phase. It acts on G1S checkpoint. So, palbociclib is indicated in combination with letrozole for the treatment of postmenopausal women in ER positive, HER2 negative advanced breast cancer as initial endocrine therapy for metastatic disease, and for the treatment of hormone receptor positive, HER2 negative advanced or metastatic breast cancer in combination with fulvestrant in women with disease progression following the endocrine therapy. Palbociclib was granted accelerated approval by FDA based on the phase 2 Paloma-1 or Trio-18 trial results. So we shall be discussing the Paloma-1 trial. This Paloma-1 Trio-18 is a randomized phase 2 study. In this, Paloma-1 trial was funded by the Pfizer company. In this study, the patients were enrolled in two separate cohorts. In cohort 1, The patients were enrolled on the basis of hormone receptor positive and HER2 negative receptor status alone. While in cohort 2, they also had to have amplification of cyclin D1 and loss of P16 or both. During the interim analysis, they did not find any significant difference on selection of patients based of the during interim analysis of this trial. The investigators did not find any significant benefit on the basis of selecting patients based on these receptors, cyclin D1, P16 or both. So final analysis included all the patients just based on the hormone receptors HER2 negative status alone. So the final analysis in the final treatment, patients were randomized into two groups, palbociclib plus letrozole group, and the second is the letrozole group. Patients were excluded if they had received letrozole as their either neoadjuvant or adjuvant treatment within 12 months before the study entry, or any previous treatment for advanced breast cancer or brain metastasis, or had already been treated with CDK inhibitors. In the patients were randomly allocated to letrozole. They received letrozole 2.5 mg once daily. Those who received palbociclib also had same dose of letrozole, but oral palbociclib was given 125 mg once daily for 3 weeks, followed by 1 week off in a 28-day cycle. When they studied the progression-free survival, in the interim analysis, they found a significant difference in the progression-free survival. The blue arm is the palbociclib plus letrozole arm, which showed significant improvement in PFS. So, palbociclib plus letrozole had a better overall response for intention to treat population. It had most of the patient partial response was seen in 42% against 32% in letrozole group, and stable disease was also more in palbociclib plus letrozole group. Overall survival, there was not much significant difference at the initial analysis at 44 months. The overall survival was improved, but there was not significant difference. The side effect profile was also there were no major adverse effects. Neutropenia, leukopenia, and fatigue were the three major side effects, but these were also easily managed. The difference between the treatment groups was significant only for anemia and alopecia, but there were no major side adverse, no grade 3 or 4 toxicity in this group. Pulmonary embolism and back pain and diarrhea were the most severe adverse effects that occurred in more than one patient in palbociclib plus letrozole group. So, the result of the study was there was significantly better progression-free survival when treated with palbociclib and letrozole, and there was objective response and clinical benefit was greater. So, FDA approved this as a for treatment in this patient subgroup. Recently, overall survival results of this trial were published last year, but overall survival results, there were no there was 3 months improvement in palbociclib plus letrozole group, but the difference was not statistically significant. When they studied the time to first use of chemotherapy post progression, it was more in the combination group, that is, delaying the use of cytotoxic chemotherapy can have a positive impact on patient's quality of life. So, although the overall survival was not improved, but there was a delay in the first use of chemotherapy post progression. Overall side effect profile was also not poor. The side effects were side effect profile was similar as seen in the initial study. So now coming back to the presentation, to round off the discussion of CDK4/6 inhibitors, there are two more inhibitors, that is ribociclib. Its indication is also similar to palbociclib, that is in combination with aromatase inhibitor as initial endocrine therapy for treatment of postmenopausal women with hormone receptor positive, HER2 negative advanced or metastatic breast cancer. Abemaciclib has slightly different indication. It is used like similarly as palbo and ribociclib in combination with aromatase inhibitors as initial endocrine therapy for treatment of postmenopausal hormone receptor HER2 negative advanced or metastatic breast cancer in combination with fulvestrant on disease progression following endocrine therapy. It can also be used as monotherapy for treatment of adult patients with hormone receptor positive HER2 negative advanced metastatic breast cancer with disease progression following endocrine therapy and having prior chemotherapy in the metastatic setting. This is the dosing chart of CDK4/6 inhibitors. Palbociclib has already been told, it is 125 mg daily, 3 week on and 1 week off schedule. Ribociclib, it is also 600 mg daily, 3 week on and 1 week off. Abemaciclib is given 150 mg twice daily in a combination schedule with aromatase inhibitors or fulvestrant. As a monotherapy, it is given as 200 mg twice daily. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Richa, for your presentation. Now, please, if we sum up the presentation, so the bottom line is that we can use palbociclib in advanced and HER2 positive and receptor positive and HER2 negative patients. So, do you justify? I am not clear whether the long-term result reflects any significant benefit. So, what's your take on this? Would you like
Thing
to?
is, these patients are advanced or metastatic disease. They are mostly not curable.
Yes.
So progression-free survival is also a good
Okay. Yes. Yes.
factor
Yes.
for not overall survival obviously, but better PFS translates to a better quality of life. So this can be used in this subgroup of patients.
Yes, a group patient. Yes. 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 So this is the bottom line, that in advanced and metastatic CA breast who were naive for letrozole chemotherapy earlier, we can use palbociclib along with letrozole. Okay. So thank you very much for the presentation, Dr. Richa. Thanks a lot.